Okay, well, thank you everyone for joining me. Let's get started. There is a lot to unpack here, so let's get going. Let me put away my giant laptop here 1 second. Just trying to watch the feed at the same time. Okay, that's going to work. All right, let's start with the release notes, which is an obvious place to start. Obviously, there was a lot of leaks leading up to this, so some of the things that are included in this update are pretty known at this point in time. So the first one on the list is going to be the light show. We're not going to get a chance to demonstrate this, but when it gets dark outside, maybe I'll do something later, do a short or something, just to see it. But there's already videos floating around out there. The next up is probably what I think is the biggest change, and also probably the best feature, and that's the customizable app launcher. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So if we click on the bottom there, you can see now that pops up and you can see all of your apps. This to me is just a way better way to access this stuff. So ergonomically, this is a big win. And some of the other things that you can do that are really cool is that you can drag and drop to your app, your quick access apps at the bottom. So that's pretty awesome. You said I use all the time is obviously Dashcam, so I've got a quick access there. And actually, you know what? I think what I'll do is I'm going to have to put Tidal in there. And it looks like you can only have 4 quick apps if I'm seeing that correctly. So that's the customizable app launcher. And BC Tesla guy just mentioned that Canada got extras like Sentry Mode Live. I can confirm that. I've actually used it on my phone. So that is now working for Canadians. Let me know in the comments if you're from Europe or anywhere else if you also got that feature. I think my US friends have had that for several weeks now, so very excited to finally get that up here in the Great White North as well. So it's a great feature. So back to the customizable app launcher. And by the way, I'm following the I'm trying to follow the chat here. So if you do have questions, you want me to jump to somewhere, that kind of thing, just let me know. My objective for today is really just to kind of get through all of this stuff that's in the release notes so that you can see what's going on here with this massive update. Okay, so as I was saying, the customizable app launcher is by far right now my favorite feature that's been released. It's just so convenient now to access everything that you need right from the app launcher. Just go straight to it. So that just works really, really well. Now, how do I get back to the release notes? Where are we? There we go. Let's get back to release notes here. Sometimes it takes a while to load. Maybe there's just too many items being released in this release. So, okay, we're back up here. Any questions about the does it save to driver profile? My understanding is that it does. I know that there's now a cloud-based driver profile, but I don't believe that's released to everyone. So it might not be syncing with the cloud at this point in time, but my understanding is that your app selections will be profile-based. So yes, the custom apps. So that is my understanding. I'll test that out later, and I'll come back and make a comment in the thread here just to confirm that. But yes, that is my understanding. Okay, so let's move on to simplified controls. This is also a pretty big change. There's something called I guess, your control center, or it's just called controls now, which is a super easy way of getting to everything that you use to access through the little car icon here at the bottom. So this is basically your settings menu or your former settings menu, and the layout just makes so much more sense to me, and it's much more ergonomic. And as far as being able to quickly identify things that you want to change, like your mirror settings, your steering wheel, your turning Sentry, quickly off and on, and also your dash cam features. So here on the dash cam, for example, if you click on it once, it'll download the last 10 minutes. And then you long press to turn your camera off and on. So those are the things that you used to do way up here. So it just makes much more sense because it's much bigger as far as, something to click with your finger. When you were driving previously and the camera icon was up here and it was tiny, good luck trying to to do that and keep your eyes on the road. So I think this is much more ergonomic, this particular layout here. Well, let's go back to simplified controls and let's just go through a few of them. So pedals and steering is a new menu item, and it was renamed from something else. I can't even remember what it was named now. I've just been having so much fun this morning playing around with this new system. I forget what the old one looked like. Okay, so here in your pedals and steering, you can control things like your chill mode if you use that. Some people love to use that in the winter time because it's on ice and that kind of stuff. It works well. I usually never use it. And I do have acceleration boost. In case you're wondering why it says sport there, not standard, that's because I do have the acceleration boost. I wish they would have actually kept standard and it would be chill, standard, sport, but it's just chill and sport when you upgrade to the acceleration boost. All right, so that's pedals and steering. Charging, it's a refreshed look and feel. It really is, I think, much more pleasing on the eyes. Any buttons that actually do something seem to be much bigger in this release. This is a big UI overhaul. It's not just an update of some features. This is version 11. And when you get the software update, the first thing you see when you get into your car is it actually says version 11 of the software. And it also takes you through a quick tutorial. So that's kind of cool too. Obviously, since I did it earlier this morning, that didn't pop up on my screen when I started the live stream. Okay, let me take a look to see if there's any questions there. Okay, there's no questions. Let's keep going down the menu item. Again, just a refresh. The font looks much more bold here to me. Bigger buttons. All the information is pretty much the same as previously on the autopilot menu item. It just looks fresher, easier to read, bigger buttons. We've got locks. We've got your lights here. We've got your display, trips, navigation settings, safety. There's some changes here, and somebody was mentioning earlier, I think it might have been BC Tesla guy or someone else was mentioning about the live view of Sentry mode for Canadians. So this is where you'll find that setting. Before you can use it, you actually have to go into settings and turn this on. The default is that it is off. So that's one of the things that you'll need to do if you want to enjoy that live view feature of your Sentry camera. So BC Tesla guy is saying that charging looks different when you're plugged in at the top left. So I am actually nowhere near my charger. So I'll have to check that out later, but that's kind of cool. I know that, again, there's a big UI refresh here and a lot of things are going to look different. One of the things that I think existing Tesla owners, if you've been a Tesla owner for a while, one of the things to get used to is that some of the things are just in a different place. So I would recommend that after you get this update, before you go out for a drive, just spend 10-15 minutes kind of navigating around and learning what's different so that when you're out there on the road, you know how to access things. Like, for example, when you're driving and you want to access your windshield wipers, for example. So now you'll do that in your control panel by hitting the car, and you can see the windshield wiper settings are now here. Now, the question is, are the wipers any better? That's what I'm interested in, because I know I get a lot of people mentioning to me whether it's on Twitter or on comments here on YouTube, that the auto wipers kind of suck. That's been my experience, if I'm being blunt. So in addition to the UI overhaul here, I'm hopeful that the wipers are actually going to perform better. Okay, let's see if we have any questions here. Sentry on app, talk through your car. Yeah, you know, I didn't try that today, but I understand that that you can do that, which is really cool. You know, kind of like, yeah, I was going to say an expletive, but I won't do that. But you know, get the away from my car comes to mind. So that's a great feature. And yeah, changing your voice. I can't wait to try that either. So I think, is there a Darth Vader one? I don't know, but it's a nice little quirk. So, okay, let's go back to the release notes. This is another well documented before it was released and a very exciting feature. This is the blind spot camera. This one I'm looking forward to. When you go for a drive, when you turn when you click on the turn signal right here in this area, you're going to be able to see that there will be a camera view. It'll be right or left depending on how you're signaling, and it will show you if there's anybody beside you. So that is a really welcome change. One of the things, just while we're on the topic of the camera, no, there is no bird's eye view. That was not part of this release, but that's another camera feature that I'm personally really looking forward to, but it's not in this release. However, I can't wait to try this particular new feature. Editing of waypoints. So waypoints arrived in release, I think it was 40.6 if memory serves me correctly, and the issue was that you could not edit waypoints. And so now Tesla in this holiday update has now added that feature, and that's very useful because, yeah, sometimes your plans change, right? We talked about this one already, but just for people who have joined you know, just now, this is the Sentry Mode live camera access, and I'm curious again if there's anyone who is joining this live stream from Europe. I'd be curious if you guys also received this as part of your holiday update. In Canada, it previously wasn't available, but now you can see your Sentry Mode live camera right from the app, which is great. Tested that this morning, works extremely well. As mentioned, you do have to go into your settings and toggle the Sentry Mode live so that you can actually use it, because the default setting is that it's off. Jace is asking, did it fix waypoint entry of locations? I haven't tried that yet, but we can go and we can try that. Yeah, we'll go and check that out. Let's see here. So let's go. You know what? Let me finish going through the release notes first, and then we'll get to that. Come on. There we go. Okay, back to the release notes. Boombox megaphone. So this again is where you can speak through your car, and I love this. I haven't tested, obviously I just got this morning, so there's still a lot of stuff to test, and I'm going to do my usual software release 1 week later video after I've had a chance to actually drive and test all of this stuff. This is really just a first impressions. It's fresh for everybody. And I will be doing that 1 week later test just to see how this stuff works. But I'm curious if Boombox megaphone works while you're actually driving, because I do have a few choice words sometimes for people while I'm driving. That would be fun, you know, like get off my you-know-what, right? So I'll have to see what the limitations are around the Boombox megaphone, but I think this is a really great idea, and I love how it's integrated into Sentry Mode. Question, do we get a notification on the app if Sentry Mode detects an event? I believe the answer to that is yes. So I know that there was previously there was notifications. So I'd be curious to see if the notification now shows rich content, like a still from the video or something. That would be really cool. Okay, so Mark just mentioned he's from the UK and they have Sentry mode access. Mark, I'm just curious, did that arrive with a holiday update or did you guys have that previously? Just curious whether it was just Canada that didn't have it then. Okay, next up, we've got some games. When I was younger, I mean, Sonic was just one of my favorite games of all time to play. So even though I'm not much of a gamer, this is something I'm definitely going to get into. Uh, this is fantastic. Yeah, super looking forward to that. Some other games, Battle of Polytopia. I'm not too familiar with that, but people that I know that do play it seem to love it. So it's always great to have more entertainment options while you're sitting in the car waiting. It's interesting because back in the day, back when I first got my first Tesla in 2017, charging used to take a lot longer. And nowadays I find by the time you plug in, go to the bathroom, grab a coffee, come back, it's time to leave. So um, playing games at supercharging locations isn't as uh, necessary as maybe it was in the past. But where it's a really great use case is when you're waiting for somebody. So like, for example, if you're waiting to pick up your kids, that type of use case, the gaming is awesome. And so I also have a mini controller, a wireless controller from JOWUA that I got that allows me to use a controller. It's small and compact and just fits in the car. So, okay, Sudokus. A lot of people love this. I've never actually played, so but I do know that a lot of people will love this. Um, it's good to have more options for entertainment. Okay, next up we've got subwoofer settings. I love this. Let me go to show you how you access it. Okay, so basically you're going to go through your, when you're in your media player, you hit those, that icon that looks like an equalizer, and that comes into your settings here. And this is where you now have a setting specifically for your subwoofer. So I'm going to just crank that right up right now while I'm in here. That's going to be nice. I love that. Not that the sound system was hurting for bass before this, but I think it's a welcome new feature. Okay, back to the release notes. Let me know in the comments what you think so far. I mean, is this release meeting your expectation? I know sometimes there's a lot of hype around these releases, and sometimes, Elon overpromises and underdelivers. But what do you think? Do you think this time he nailed it? Does this stuff look like the type of things that you were looking for in a big update? What do you think might be missing? Like for me, one of the things that's missing is more music sources. Like right now, for example, well, I'll go back into the media player, but it's changed around a little bit as well. So now you can access your media sources. There's a little down arrow up here, and it shows all of your media sources that you've selected to include. And I just wish that there were some additional choices. I'm loving the title. I've got the 3-month, like for $1 special deal, and so far it's been amazing. And so I'm super happy with that. But my family uses Apple, and we already pay for an Apple family plan. So I'd love to have Apple Music as an option here. I don't know if we'll ever get it. It doesn't seem like Elon and Tim like each other very much. So us owners might get politicked out of out of having Apple Music. But that certainly would be one that I would have wanted in this particular release. We saw a while back there was also a UI that screenshots that somebody had sent out of a beta or something, and it had Amazon Music too. So I'm not sure what's holding up all of these different music sources, but I wish they would kind of at least do the major ones, right? So just to have that covered. Okay, let's see. Yes, we've BC Tesla guy says we've waited a year for a big update. That's true. I mean, this year we haven't had very much in terms of updates. There's been a lot of cold weather improvements. So we haven't had a super cold, like -30 day yet here where I live in Canada, but I'm sure one is coming. And I'll certainly do a video and compare to last year to see whether or not all of those cold weather improvements that came almost with every release over the past year made any difference. All right, let's see here. Let's go back to the release notes. Again, it seems to be taking a while to load. Okay. Where did we leave off? We left off with, we left off on Subwoofer, and we kind of talked about cold weather improvements, and there's more cold weather improvements. So this is great. The expectations are set really high now for all of this cold weather stuff. But I think, as far as the things that like preconditioning the cabin, those type of things, keeping your car nice and toasty by keeping the climate controls on in the wintertime. Things that you can't do in an ICE vehicle, obviously, because you don't want to idle in an ICE vehicle because you're just spewing out CO2 while you're doing that. But it's great in a electric vehicle to have those type of features, and winter driving is just so much more enjoyable now. I can't remember last time I've gone into a cold car, which is really great. Let's see here. Vincent Teresa says, I can't find the driver profile anymore on the screen. So driver profile. Yeah, I don't recall seeing that. Let's see if we can. Oh, so it's right here, Vincent Teresa. So when you go into your controls, and there's a little kind of icon of a person and your name. If you click on that, that's where your driver profile settings are now located. So, okay, that's cool. So, hey, there's one helpful thing out of this stream now for somebody. I'm just kidding. Hopefully there's been some helpful stuff in this walkthrough. Okay, automatic seat heaters. We're almost to the bottom of the list here. So this is interesting. So based on your temperature setting, the seat heaters are going to turn on automatically, and they'll be at a heating level that's commensurate with what you've selected in your temperature setting down over here. So that's that to me is like anything that's automated like that. It just makes it so much easier. You don't have to worry about turning on your seat heaters. That being said, if you do want to change that, so now if you click on where your heating controls are here at the bottom in your quick kind of menu here, it pops up. The menu's similar to how it was before, just bigger icons, better visuals in terms of the UI. But here you can change your let's see, where is it? I was pretty sure you can. So yeah, you can change your settings over here, or you can, so driver and passenger, so you can manually override that here. So that's interesting. I hadn't played too much with the HVAC kind of settings here, but yeah, so you've got your manual control of your seat heaters over here now, and then in the rear, while we're here, this is a really great feature now where you can actually control the fan in the rear here. Now it's grayed out for me, but because I had put it on manual, but here you can see I just toggled it, it turned on. So that's your rear fan. I can confirm it is blowing air, which is great, because before it was a bit of a mystery. I think sometimes you had to have somebody in the back seat for the fan to actually turn on. So it's convenient, I think, to be able to toggle that now. So that's a very useful setting. Oops. Okay. So next, manage dash cam clips. This is another one where people were very, I guess, interested in a better method to delete clips, whether you wanted to just kind of clean out older clips or whatever reason why you wanted to delete the clips. You had to go one at a time and delete them. And yeah, it was pretty painful. But here, now you can go into your controls, and let's just do that and I can show you. And you go into, I believe it's in safety. And if we scroll down now, you see, in addition to being able to format the USB drive, which existed before, now we can go and delete dash cam clips. So when you click on that, you'll get a warning that this will delete all files in your Tesla Cam folder. And you know, do you want to do that? So it's good that it has a pop-up here. It doesn't just automatically delete anything just because, you know, just in case you made a mistake or something. So that's a really great feature. I know a lot of people really wanted that. I'm super excited about it because I do like to clear out anything that's junk. I'm just weirdly obsessed about organization and stuff like that. So if you're like me and you're obsessed about those type of things, then this is going to be a great feature for you as well. All right, next up is dark mode. This, you know, seems to be very popular, starting with smartphones and having a dark mode. I can definitely see myself using this, and let's go check it out. I think it's in your controls here, is it? Let's see. So it's on auto right now. Oh, wow. Okay, wow, that's bright. So let me put that back on auto. Where is the setting? Okay, so display, appearance, select dark. So display, oh, there we go, dark. Well, you know, that's kind of like nighttime. There was, again, you know, I almost can't remember what the old system was like now, and it's just been like a morning. But I know that you could change it to dark previously, so I'm not sure what the difference is, other than maybe it's optimized the dark mode now so that you can use it comfortably during the day. I think it kind of looks a little cool. I mean, let me know what you think. I mean, these colors here at the bottom, you know, seem to really pop. Yeah, I'm liking this. I might just leave it on the dark mode, but I think anyhow, for the purpose of doing a live stream, it's easier for you guys to see if I have this on light mode, or maybe it isn't. I don't know. Are you able to turn on off HVAC with a long press on the temp icon? Let's give that a try. The answer is yes. If you long press the temperature setting here, it will turn HVAC off. So great question, Brian. That was fantastic. If there's anything else that anyone wants me to test, just give me a shout here in the comments. I'm happy to test it real time. We're kind of down towards the end anyways, which the last item here is to hide map details by tapping on the pin button on the map. So let's see here. Let's go and see here. Tapping. Oh, yeah, okay, so then it disappears there up at the top. And then you tap like that, and it comes back. Sorry, I'm on Mars here, and I'm sure people are like, why are you driving on Mars? I just, you know, I'm at my house. I just, you know, don't want my address like right on the thing. Not that I don't love you guys, and I'm sure none of you are like crazy psychos, but yeah, that's why I have it on Mars mode, just to, you know, not broadcast my actual address. So not that you probably couldn't find it by Googling, but anyhow, you know what I mean. Okay, let's head back to the release notes. I think we're done at the bottom. Okay, BC Tesla guy would like me to put my car in drive and signal to the left, which I am happy to oblige. So let's just do that. Okay. So putting your foot on the brake, so that was interesting. You saw that all of the alerts now are on this one part of this slim part of the UI here. And let's turn left here. Oops, let me go into drive first. Okay. Fasten seatbelt, no thank you. So I think you have to be actually driving for that camera to come up. Yeah, so I'll have to test that out later, but obviously we know it works. We've seen videos already, but you do have to be moving apparently for the camera to actually show up. Unless there is a setting that I missed somewhere, but I don't think so. Okay, I'm going to just hang around for a couple of minutes, see if I can answer any questions if people have them. But that was a full walkthrough of the entire release notes and showing you what was in there. I know that sometimes there's undocumented stuff, and as mentioned, I'm going to follow up with one of my 1 week later videos after I get a chance to actually dive deep into all of these changes and see if there's anything undocumented or different behavior in terms of how autopilot is working. Do we have less phantom braking, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to be doing a full test in about a week. Oh, is the energy graph still available in the new UI? I had heard somewhere that that it was going to be removed, and I don't know why, because I do use that a lot. No, it's still here. There you go. Still here. That's a great feature. I love this. Yeah, it looks exactly the same. Maybe a little bit of a visual overhaul. What happened to TRIP and TPMS cards? That's a really great observation, Jason. Those are gone. So now when you swipe, nothing happens here. So I would imagine that they've moved TPS into, so here's trips. Let me see here. Where would I find the TPMS stuff? Okay. Yeah. Where is the, if you want to see the tire pressure? Anyone already played with this and know where it is? Just let me know in the comments if you know where to find that. I don't know, I'm just randomly trying to toggle something here. Interesting. Maybe you need to be in drive? Fasten the seatbelt. Interesting. Do I know if the update applies to Model X also? I don't know yet. I do know some people. I sold my Model X, so I don't have a Model X anymore, but I do know people that have Model X. I'll reach out and find out. Tire pressure was in service surrounding the car graphic. Okay, let's go back to service. Ah, there we are. So that's where it's located now. Thank you very much for noticing that.